As you are probably aware, northeastern Illinois has a lot of water demands, and they range the whole gamut from public water supply to industrial, even agricultural, and recreational. These water supplies can be fed via surface water like the Fox River or Lake Michigan, but what I'm going to talk about today is the water that comes from underneath your feet, from the groundwater, in particular from the deep aquifer systems. These have advantages over the shallow aquifer systems in that they're present throughout northeastern Illinois and not all that susceptible to anthropogenic contamination. However, they are replenished very slowly and they're fairly expensive to pump from, and there's also some natural threats that can be found within the deep groundwater, meaning all that blue you see up there, only a little bit of it is actually usable. Now, comparing shallow versus deep aquifers and usage in northeastern Illinois, you'll see it's fairly evenly split. It's been that way historically, and we project that it's going to continue that way into the future. Deep groundwater is under pressure. It's separated from shallow groundwater by what we call an aquitard. That aquitard holds deep groundwater under pressure. If you drill a well, the elevation is going to raise in that well. Water's going to shoot up into it. And if you start drawing water out of the well, you're going to lower that elevation. We refer to that as the head. Pumping will decrease the head in the deep aquifer, and eventually it can lead to desaturation, the purple zone that you see here. And this has a host of issues, water quantity, water quality related, that I won't get into, but just to make it clear, this is a situation that we recommend is avoided. So desaturation, according to our models, is already a problem in the region. The red areas in these images are model results. Actually, these images are model results. The red area shows the deep aquifer where it's desaturated, and the blue area is where there's a warning. The pink area isn't as much of a concern. You can see in 2005, there's desaturation and danger of desaturation, and it only grows by the year 2050. Now, water planners want to know how much water is available in this region, and we can give them some estimates by reducing pumping. Here's one method, one of many, where we reduce pumping by 30% from 2005 rates. That's what, for everybody across the board, that's what it would take to eliminate the red area, to avoid desaturation. Now, the truth is, that's not going to happen. Across the board cuts are unreasonable. What we need to consider are the impacts of different water users. Here you see I've broken up the northeastern Illinois area into four different zones. The Joliet area, the Aurora area, areas in danger of desaturation, and everybody else. And you can see that for all of them, pumping is expected to increase between 2005 and 2050. We want to know the individual impacts of each of these groups, and so in our models, that's what we do. We took those wells that just represented the Joliet area and just pumped those. Nobody else pumped. That gave us the individual impact. And you can see that for Joliet, for Aurora, and the rest of those areas, those black wells, in 2005, there is no desaturation. If we go out to 2050, however, per our projections, we would have desaturation around Joliet. Not Aurora, they didn't pump all that much, they're considerably smaller, and all those other areas would also lead to desaturation. Now we can also do this to where we say, what if Joliet, who is the heavy pumper, didn't pump? And you see that in 2005, there's still danger of desaturation, and at 2050, there would be desaturation, even without the influence of Joliet. This is a clear indication, not that we didn't know this, but that the areas up there need to work together cooperatively to prevent this projected 2050 situation of desaturation. And Water Survey is currently working with them to help them do this. This story is a lot more complicated. My co-author, George Roadcat, will be giving a lightning talk at 11:15, and there's also a poster this evening. Thank you.